up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As promised, we're trying to keep it the channel and everything consistent. You know, new year, new me, new us type of thing. We're not going to be riding on this one. We're not going to be wrenching on the bikes. And if you guys kind of been looking at the channel, looking at the videos, you know, we've been kind of knocking some stuff out on the new bikes that we acquired. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And obviously we have one of the new bikes right here next to me, and I kind of wanted to sit down and not so much introduce, but give more of an in-depth thoughts into the new M's, the new bikes that we gotten, just so you guys at home kind of, you know, I guess are more in tune to why, or, you know, or if you guys are interested or trying to buy, you know, one of these bikes, it's worth it, you know. So I kind of want to give my opinions, not just mine, you know, just kind of overall with the guys. You know, I got JDZ full res here, obviously, you know, the man behind the camera, and I just want to introduce, like I mentioned, one of the new M's that we got. If you haven't seen it, obviously we have the white one that we call Marshy, and this one, I think me and JD's have been going back and forth, kind of sticking to Mamba just because of the black, you know, kind of tone on the bike. But if you guys kind of have a better idea, more other suggestions, you know, put it down in the comments, let us know. I like it. I know JDC said something about Sapphire, which is not a bad name either, you know. So I think you can't go wrong with both. But let's just kind of dive into it. The reason why we got this bike and not Marshy is because I feel like, obviously, for the ones that know, this is the competition. This is the creme de la creme, top shelf, you know, BMW that you can get right now on the market. So I kind of wanted to kind of push this one more than the other one because obviously it's an upgraded package, the competition package. And what does that mean? For the ones that don't know, it means obviously the colorway, you're going to get the black, but it means you're getting a lot of the carbon fiber. And if you've been keeping up, BMW kind of did a step back on just the aesthetics, because if you look at the previous gen, you get the 23, 24, full carbon, gloss carbon, and now they kind of did a step back and went back to original kind of plastics and fairings, and that didn't go, you know, the whole full carbon route. Did I like that? Not really, because I mean, if you're getting a factory bike with full carbon on it, you know, why not? I feel like BMW really stepped up their game when they did that. And on this one, I mean, they did give some stuff, like the front fender, obviously the wings, the side fairing on the tank, the cowl, and then the rear hugger with the chain guard. One thing new though, this isn't your gloss carbon that you see and other, you know, manufacturer. The only other manufacturer that I've seen do a matte carbon is Ducati. I've never been a fan, I'm not gonna lie to you, but now that I see it in person, now that it's here, I'm really kind of growing into the matte carbon look. And I think me and JD were discussing, like I mentioned, we have Marshy, we might do something along with the matte, something along, you know, with some different carbon axes down the road. But for right now, I mean, like I said, I can't complain. It's a little bit different, but it's not a bad look. But other than the carbon, like I mentioned, you get the black colorway, and you also get the levers. So you get levers, you get the rear sets with it, and I believe that's it. The wheels, honestly, I've seen both the M's come with either carbon or forged wheels. I'm not sure why they do that, you know, if it's package wise or anything like that, but I'm not gonna lie, I feel like you can't go wrong with both. You can go the carbon route, you're gonna have super awesome wheels, you know, lightweight wheels, or you could do the forge route, and I think it would be better for if you're trying to really customize your bike or customize the look of it. You could powder coat it and do different colorways that way. But other than that, I mean, their motors identical, you know, between the white non-competition and the black one. So if you don't really care about the aesthetics as far as the carbon or the levers or the rear sets, I mean, you could go the non-competition route and save yourself a little bit of money, and then, you know, get those parts down the road. But now that's my thoughts on, you know, initial thoughts of how the bike looks and how the bike, you know, my first impressions. Now riding the bike, Obviously, we broke it in. If you guys haven't seen it, I think we did the video with the Marshy with the white one where we did the 600-mile break-in, which is horrible, horrible, horrible. I think JD could correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like we've done 7 break-ins already, if I'm not mistaken, 8 break-ins, and no fun. You're stuck at 600 miles with a 9 RPM, rev limiter. So finally got through that. As soon as we did the 600-mile break-in, we did the first service, and I'm going to just mention to you again, for the people that aren't being told this, but the 25 and 26s, now you get a free first service, and that's a big help. Because it's not a cheap service. You're spending over $500, $580, I believe. And before you had to kind of, take the hit on that. So now BMW's doing it. Just make sure your local dealership, don't let them charge it, because I think they try to do it to us on both of the bikes. I'm not sure if they just don't know at the service department, or they just trying to slide one. I don't know. But anyways, we talked to them and they kind of waived the fee, so it was free. So if you get a new bike, and includes the S's too. So if you get an S1000, and I believe the other models, that I'm not 100% sure, but I think you should be able to on the other models as well. So once we did the service, we went ahead and rode it for a little bit, and I'm not gonna lie, me and JD kind of rode it, and it feels different. It feels different. It feels smoother. It feels peppier, and this is me saying with nothing on it, no exhaust, no anything. I feel like the bike kind of speaks for itself, especially before even being tuned. If it's already feeling like that, I feel like it's a good sign, basically. Why does it feel more peppy? Why does it feel a little bit stronger or stuff like that? Is I'm not gonna go dive too much into the logistics of the motor, but they have changed a lot on the heads. They have changed a lot on the throttle bodies, bigger throttle bodies. I think it's the heads. You have oval shaped ports for the exhaust ports, so the bike is breathing more. It's still the same airbox footprint that you'll have on all the S's and the M's, but they changed the design of the airbox. So the guys that work on the bikes, you'll be able to tell that difference once you start opening them up. And the filter, that's another huge tell that you can see that this filter for air filter would not fit the previous gen. So if you think you're gonna use a filter from a 25, 24 S or M, this airbox is, like I mentioned, is completely different, to where you're gonna have to buy a brand new filter. Same thing with the exhaust. Like I mentioned, it has the oval ports. So now you can't just put a 24, 25, 24 or previous year M exhaust or S exhaust. So it's just those differences. I feel like it's what makes the bike a little bit more peppier. Probably the bike is breathing a little bit better. I know that whenever I was getting the flash from Brand Tune, because if you guys have, that are watching, obviously I mentioned them a lot. All of the BMWs, we always flash them, we always tune them through BT Moto. And if you're trying to look at, you're looking into that, use the code. I know I was throw a little plug in there, but I mean, why not? Save some money. But I know whenever Brand Tune or BT Moto was first got the bike, they put this bike on a dyno. I want to say, I'm not saying word for word, but I do remember him saying he was very impressed by just, obviously the bike's restricted. So the OEM, stock tune, it's going to have a restricted, very, not low, but obviously the horsepower's not going to be there. But as soon as you put that stage 1 flash, really de-restricted the bike, it made a lot of power. It, I think, gained 12 to 16 horsepower. I cannot remember the exact number. I'm more in tune to say 16, and that's a huge difference on just a straight flash. So to me, the bike is, once it was flashed, it just kind of woke it up even more. So I mean, if you were to ask me, because I always get asked this question, what is your favorite bike before, I would say the 2023 M1000RR, which is Apollo, the full carbon. We did a lot of work on that bike. From the carbon subframe, carbon tank, and everything else. I feel like that bike was the favorite. Now riding this after the flash, after doing the stage 2, the stacks, and like I mentioned, I know I'm kind of jumping a lot of things, but I talked about it on the other videos. But now that this bike is kind of fully bolt on, performance wise, you know, with exhaust and all those other things, this bike is a beast. This bike is the one to have. If you're looking for a bike, if you have the money, I mean, I don't always advocate, because I know BMW, the S's are great bikes and they're good bang for your buck. But if you got the money, you got the 45, you know, give or take grand to spend, this bike is the one to get. I hate to say it, but Apollo took second next to the 2026 BMW M1000RR. Just because of that, like I said, it's just more, you feel the power, the bikes, I don't know, it's more in tune. I know that, I guess for JDZ, like I think might agree with me. He loves Le Mans, so I don't know. It's going to be rough on him. I don't think he'll be able to choose between one of those two. So, but this is the bike, in my opinion, this is the bike to get. It's just you're getting a lot of bike. Like I mentioned, I'm not a really road racer, you know, call out people type of guy. You know, if we line up all those things, you know, just if it happens, it happens. Once I rode this bike, yeah, I'm looking for triple R's, and you know, whoever other brand is making good horsepower, you know, from factory with a, you know, simple bolt-ons. Just because this bike makes that power, I feel it. And one thing I was telling JDZ too, when I first put the flash and the stacks and all this other stuff and rode the bike, I don't know why. Maybe it's, you know, I'm over here hyping myself up, but realistically, I always ride with no traction control, no wheelie control. And this bike, I swear to you, if you don't know how to wheelie, I said it to them, if you don't know how to wheelie and you have those things off, even a 1K, the people that ride it, you know, you gotta punch the throttle a little bit and then it'll come up. This bike, you almost roll the throttle and the wheels, I don't know. Maybe I'm hyping myself up or whatever, but you just have to, if you have a chance, you know, or for the ones that have it, hopefully, you know, you could attest to this, you know, it's just, I feel the power is basically what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of all around from aesthetics to power-wise. It's just, you know, now I could safely say probably the best bike, my favorite bike of the channel. Now, if you to say white or black, now that you're just going with preference, colorways, and I hate to say it, but probably Marshy, just because obviously I like white. You know, the boys with the Suzuki and Gixxer boys are out there, you know, asking where the Suzuki's at. And I feel like the white is a very, I guess, a strong point or a strong reason why they like that bike. And same thing for me. I feel like the white bikes always look a lot cleaner. This looks menacing, but I feel like the white bikes always look classy and just, you know, very clean themselves. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I guess next time you will see me, or you will, I'll try to do a video, will probably a POV, so you could just kind of see all this, you know, through my, I guess through my eyes, and, you know, per se, and really you'll be able to see. And like I said, hopefully if I'm looking for a triple R, it'll be one that, you know, wants to kind of line up, and we'll put it to the test. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, you know, we'll see right then and there. So hopefully that'll be the next video we do for you guys. Like I mentioned, I just want to kind of give this kind of, not first thoughts, but just kind of my overall thoughts over the bikes, over BMW, over what they, you know, introduced or dropped for 2026. And they've been killing it ever since, you know, I feel like they started the game. So keep it going. I'm gonna kind of throw this in there because I just want to, you know, see if I'm right down the line. I want to say, if you guys are Beamer fans, that you probably saw the Concept RR. I feel like this is probably going to be the last M that's going to come out like this. I feel like the Concept RR is going to be the next M, and these are going to start looking like more of the S's. So I'm just going to throw it in there. I don't know, you know, it's just a guess, but it's kind of, you know, from what I'm seeing BMW, where have they been doing things, I think that's what's going to happen. So we'll see. But I think that's it for me. For, you know, I kind of talked my ass off, and, you know, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I think into the next one. Peace.